The offensive line is banged up, but getting healthier. What's up, Vikings Nation? Welcome to the Minnesota Vikings Syndicate. I'm your host, Trey Wicks. Now, look, this weekend's matchup is against the New York Giants, and one big flaw that we have up to this point is that we finally have been dealt a little bit of an injury bug. And that injury bug has to do with our offensive line. We've lost a couple key pieces, and, one of them being Brian O'Neill, which is a massive loss. Also, our backup center, Austin Schlottman's out, but that one really won't matter as much because there's a couple guys that we might be getting back because this offensive line, it's banged up, okay, but it is getting healthier. It's not 100%. It's not going to look pretty, but it's still better than, a Chris Reed at center or, these third stringers at the offensive line, especially during the playoffs. Am I right? I mean, come on. But look, Tyler Forness kind of went through this situation and gave us kind of a little outline of what to expect for this Sunday's matchup against the New York Giants on our offensive line. He starts by saying, injuries have become a more common theme for the Minnesota Vikings the past few weeks, and the offensive line has been hit the hardest. Okay, the worst of it was seeing backup center Austin Schlottman, who has a broken ankle, and starting right tackle Brian O'Neill, who has a partially torn Achilles, being placed on season-ending injured reserve. Now, that isn't the end to their injuries, as center Garrett Bradbury has been out for the last 5 games, and tackle Blake Brandel has been out for the last 4 with a torn MCL. Now, it was reported earlier on Wednesday that Brandel would have his 21-day practice window activated, and head coach Kevin O'Connell thinks he will be activated for Sunday's game against the New York Giants. But before that happens, he wants to see Brandel practice first. Now, it seems, or I heard just yesterday, that Blake Brandel's 21-day practice window has been activated. He's ready to rock and roll. Still, his status for Sunday remains up in air. Like this basically says, Kevin O'Connell wants to see Blake Brandel practice before putting him into that situation and in that playoff game against the Giants. Now, for Bradbury, okay, he is returning to practice on a limited basis for the first time since he was in a minor car accident after the game against the Indianapolis Colts. Now, they are staying cautious, but it's a positive sign. So here's a tweet from Sam Ekstrom. Said, KOC says Garrett Bradbury will be a limited participant at practice today, but they'll stay cautious. He won't put Garrett in a position unless we think he can succeed. Now, it kind of finishes off with saying, if the Vikings get both players back in Blake Brandel and Garrett Bradbury, it could be an entirely different ball game against the Giants this time around. Yes, our offensive line is banged up, but there's still some hope. Blake Brandel, if he has some good practices here in the next day and a half, he's going to be activated and ready to rock and roll Sunday. Brian O'Neill, he's not going to be playing, obviously, okay? And then we also know Austin Schlottman will not be playing as well. But Garrett Bradbury, if we get him back, that's a massive addition to that offensive line. And hey, we need to protect Kirk for as long as possible. So look, we're banged up at the offensive line, but we're getting healthier. So make sure to drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. We're trying to reach 900 subs as quickly as possible. So make sure to do so, and have a great rest of your day, folks. SKOL Vikes.